God loved me so much that if it was anyone else, they probably would have been killed or in jail.
What kind of guy were you?
I was a sales rep for like Rockaware, which is Jay-Z's company, and then Sean John, which is P. Diddy's company. And then we started our own brand called Cabby. And I was just making so much money living on the beach and just going crazy. But I had no direction. So I was wild. One of the good things I give credit for about being raised in America is you get humbled easily. We call it, getting a taste of that humble pie. A lot of people here never got a taste of the humble pie.
Are you more Palestinian or more American?
You cut me, I bleed Palestine.
What would you like when you die for them to write on your gravestone? Now, my next guest on the show, friends with LeBron James and Kevin Hart, to name a few. But that's not what makes him cool. What makes him cool is the size of his heart. This guy decided that giving back was where the juice really lived. And this time of year, as we celebrate the holy month of Ramadan, this conversation never felt so important. So please welcome to the show the founder of FadieCakes, the awesome Fadie Musallet.
As a brand promise with FadieCakes, I said for every cake we sell, we feed a labor worker. And that's going through my charity, The Giving Family. And I fed 400 people on my own. And now we do about 1.2 million meals a year. We do almost 500,000 just for the month of Ramadan. And I have over 6,000 volunteers. The biggest blessing in life is
Well, Fadie, thank you so much for coming to join us today.
Thanks for having me.
There's so much to talk about with you, and it's very easy to try and work out it's very difficult, to try and work out where to start. But this question seems to have come into my head over and over and over since I knew you were coming. And in the last 48 hours, I've been thinking about you a lot and doing my research. So I'm going to ask you a question that might be a little bit off cuff for you. What's the meaning of life?
Love. Once you appreciate and love life, you start appreciating people and everything around you. I think everything should revolve around love.
In what kind of way? What kind of love? Love that you give, love that you get?
Love that you give, because it's contagious, like the more you give it, the more you receive. And I always feel like if someone's having a bad day, you never know what they're going through. That doesn't mean you have to be bad in return, But if you treat them and with love, sometimes they're like, you know what? I know I was mean to that person. Why is he still being nice to me? And maybe it's for me, it's everything, like being kind, being lovable, and it spreads like cancer.
What would you like when you die for them to write on your gravestone?
That's a good question. And I think about that all the time. I'm an emotional person, because I was raised by a single parent. My dad passed away when I was 5. I had a brother pass away 8 months later. And now that I have a son who just turned 2 years old, I want him to go around and be like, just hear nothing but good things about his father, So I want to lead by example and just leave behind everything that matters in this world, because this world is temporary. We all know that, So for me, it's all about leaving that legacy for my son. Wherever he goes, they're going to tell him, like, your father was a good man. He gave out a lot. He did a lot for the community, and that's worth more than money. I just want the world to know that I did all I can do for this community and for this world. Anything that I can give, I'm willing to do it.
When I worked with the children that I worked with, people would say they're so grateful for what you do, and I would say to them, I'm the one that's grateful. I'm the one that's being cured. I'm the one that's benefiting from all of this. Do you think that your modus operandi, the way you work, the way you think, and the way you behave? Do you think that actually by being so giving, so caring, and offering so much to others is how you get your kind of fix of internal joy?
It is. It's becoming an addiction. I can't stop. Like for me, if you see me, I'm not the flashy person. You know, I got the watches, I have everything, but it's not me. My wife says I wear a uniform every day because I don't care about that stuff. I care more about putting a smile on people's faces. And that's what we do at the Giving Family, the charity that I have. When we give out meals, I always tell these volunteers, like, you know, we're not here just to pass out meals. When you give that labor worker a bag of food, put a smile on their face, tell them thank you, because we owe it to them. They don't owe us anything. So for me, it's every day, all I care about is just giving back. That's all I care about.
It's interesting how as human beings, there's so much more in giving than there is in getting. There's just so much fulfillment that comes from giving. But it's sad how so many people can't see that. I've never tried to experience that. They hear it. They watch it on TV. They'll watch this podcast and they'll hear it.
And you know what they say? Oh, he's doing that for exposure. He's doing that. They have no idea. I've been doing this for more than 9 years. 9 years just in Dubai. And we don't get paid for this. It's not like in America when you have a charity, you can put yourself on salary. We don't. You know, we do this because we love to do this. And we do this because we know people need us. And without us, like, I don't know what they would be doing, you know? So they don't understand.
You don't need to do it for anything, do you? I call it kindness. And I just think that the law should be that everyone has to be kind to each other every day. One person, just be kind to one person. And then go and work in service of someone or an organisation once a month for half a day. If we did that, I think we'd all be in a good place.
And I had a good friend of mine, Terry Crews.
Mm-hmm.
He was here in Dubai last year. And when he found out about the Giving Family, he was supposed to leave 2 days before Ramadan. He extended to stay for the first day of Ramadan to attend the Giving Family. And he gave a speech to all the volunteers. And he said the same thing you just said. He said, all you have to do is be kind to one person. Just be kind to one person. That's all it takes. And people don't understand that.
I guess people get so wrapped up in their own head sometimes that they can't. That's why we need to shout harder about it, you know? That's why we need to tell these stories, why we need to share this kind of stuff. It's important because some people watching this today, the penny will drop. You know, they'll go, maybe I should try that.
And, you know, for me, it's like, you know, one of the good things I give credit for about being raised in America is in America, you get humbled easily. You get humbled easily. And we call it, you know, getting a taste of that humble pie. You know, in America, if you walk around with your nose to the sky, you get beat up. If you show off too much, you get beat up or you get robbed. And that's how people get humbled, right? Unfortunately, here, it's so safe that you can't get beat up. And if you get beat up, there's penalties for it, you know? So a lot of people here never got humbled. A lot of people here never got a taste of the humble pie, you know? A lot of people never seen death. You know, I lost my father, I lost my brother, I lost all my uncles, all my aunts, my grandparents. I lost a lot of people in my life. And that every time it just makes me stronger and stronger. It makes me realize like this life is temporary.
Are you more Palestinian or more American in your heart? What do you feel?
You cut me, I bleed Palestine.
And when you think about all of the troubles that have happened and the situation that's been created, and you hear all of the stories from all parts and all sides, excluding the political ones, so many people have needlessly died. Pointlessly, needlessly died. Is there ever going to be a fix?
I mean, we dream there will be, we pray there will be, but I don't think there'll ever be a fix. And I think when that time comes, the world's going to be done because they've done so much damage. I think there's no return. They've just, I mean, and we're seeing it with our own eyes on television. It's documented, everything, but no one's doing anything. No one, and when are they going to do something? It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. You know, like I see it firsthand because I go there every other month to visit my mother, and it's not getting any better. So for me, we pray it will, but it's very, very, there's no way. It's impossible.
The Palestinians need to leave
We would never leave.
to find their own peace.
I mean, for us, we believe if we have to leave, we'd rather die and find our peace then, because we believe in the aftermath. You know, we believe in the afterlife.
But as an American Palestinian, having the opportunity to live and freedom to be able to live in other countries, knowing that you've got people back there that are suffering, is your instinct to say, come be safe with me or near me?
I try, but they won't leave. They're very resilient. They're very strong. Their minds are made up, and they're just not gonna pick up and leave what they started. They just won't do it. And I tell everyone, you know, like one of the reasons why I moved here is because to be closer to my mom in Palestine. And every time I go visit her, to be honest with you, I'm never more at peace than I am there, even though with what we're going through. I get the best sleep there. I smell the best air, the best food, and everyone's happy. No one's down. No, like we still welcome people. We still host people. We still cook for people, you know? That's just the kind of people we are. And it's like my most ever peace, it's not the Maldives. It's not, you know, Europe or America. It's in Palestine. I'm serious. I don't know, maybe because I know my mom's in the same house and she's the only one I care about and not ever want to get that phone call of bad news. So she's there in the same, under the same roof. So, but for me, the most peace I ever get is when I'm there.
Now, you're known here in Dubai, and, you know, I don't need to put your face on my podcast for people to know who you are in Dubai, but I'd really like to learn about who you were before. That person that was brought up in Miami. What kind of guy were you? I mean, you're younger than me by some considerable years, so you're still in my eyes young, but you're in your 40s. In Miami, growing up, what was life like for you? What kind of kid were you?
I was always a good kid. You know, I was always a good kid. Like, you know, my mom never told us that we shouldn't drink or smoke. I just never did it. Even my siblings never did it. You know, like we were raised pretty good by a single parent, by my mother, you know. But I had no direction. I had no direction, no faith, nothing. So I was wild. And when I look at it now, I'm like, you know, God loved me so much that if it was anyone else, they probably would have been killed or in jail because I had no direction. I was everywhere. I was in the streets. You know, I sold the wrong things. I was around the wrong people. But I still didn't do the, you know, I didn't drink. I didn't party like that. I didn't, you know, but Miami's a dangerous place. America's a dangerous place, as we all can see right now. It could chew you up and spit you out in a heartbeat. There's no loyalty to no one. And I'm thankful to be still alive and in the position. And that's one of the reasons why I give back so much, because I feel like God gave me the opportunity to live this long, to change my life and give back.
How long were you in that period of your life where you were directionless and lost? And how
right after university, 2001 to about 2012, it could have been really, really bad.
11 years.
Yeah.
Shit, the bed, really? That's a long period. A decade of your life.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know how I got
rudderless.
out of it. Yeah. It was just.
We say you don't know how you got out of it. What changed?
So I lived on South Beach, and my mom was like, "If you don't move out of Miami, I'm never speaking to you again." And she really meant it. So I picked up and left. Cold turkey. I'm good at, you know, cutting things off cold turkey. Like you know, it's my mind's strong enough to do it.
Okay, so let's give some context here for people that don't know Miami. South Beach is tourist hotspot. It's a party hotspot.
It's the real Sin City.
Yeah.
There's no limits.
It's the strip, isn't it, really? So you were living down there. What were you doing?
So I worked for, I was a sales rep for a few of the biggest clothing brands at the time, more in the urban wear, like Rockaware, which is Jay-Z's company, and then Sean John, which is P. Diddy's company. And then we started our own brand called Cavi, short for caviar. And our slogan was product of great taste. We were the #1 selling men's brand in Macy's for 2 years. And I was just making so much money living on the beach and just going crazy.
So
Like
you're
my neighbor was Lil Wayne. I've always around the celebrities, and it's just like it was nonstop. It never stopped. Every day, 7 days a week.
a lot of people would say that you were living, you did have direction, you were building a business, you were making money, but you didn't see that as direction. Why?
Because I was donating it to the wrong people. I was donating it to taking my friends out to dinner, paying their bill at the clubs, just everything you can think of. The money was going back in the wrong place.
So you were making money and then blowing it, not realizing, thinking it would never end. And when Mum said enough is enough, she's good at cold turkey too. So where did you go? What did you
Moved
do?
to Michigan.
Oh, great.
Never been to Michigan in my life, and that was the time when Michigan was going bankrupt.
There's 50 states and you went to Michigan.
I went to Michigan.
Why?
One of the poorest places in America. I went there because I had an opportunity. A cousin of mine said he's going to get me a job in the medical field, which I never had medical history in my life and never been to Michigan in my life. And sure enough, they interviewed me. They loved who I was. And they gave me the job when they had already interviewed more than 25 people with history, medical background, and me, no medical background. And they gave me the job. And I became the #1 rep in the country my first year.
What were you selling?
I was selling catheters for cardiology, for patients with, blockages in their arteries. And #1 rep the first year.
And who were you selling to? Doctors or?
So yeah, I would sit in the cath lab every day, and the patient would come in, and they do the diagnostic test, and when they see blockages, they call me in with my device, and once they open the device, I get paid, and you get paid a lot of money.
And you did that, you were successful?
I was very successful, and I realized, coming from Miami to Michigan, it's two different ball games. It's like, you go on a date in Miami, it's like Dubai, $500-600 for a date. You go to date in Michigan, you buy the whole menu for $100. So the comparisons were way different. And then that's when I realized, no matter how much money you make, it doesn't bring you happiness. I was making less money in Miami, and I was happy, but I was making more money in Michigan, and I wasn't happy.
Because you had no friends, because you had no purpose, because you had no soul. What?
I had no friends. The weather was horrible. It's always gray, snowing, raining, and that just built up my depression. Just wasn't happy there, and I knew I couldn't go back to Miami, so I picked up and came to Dubai.
And how long have you been in Dubai?
Since 2016.
So when you came to Dubai, why did you choose Dubai? To be closer to
So I never forget the date. It was March 30th, 2016. I was on tour with Kevin Hart, and he did a show in Abu Dhabi. And after the show, we were staying at the St. Regis in Sadia Island. After the show, everyone was checking out to go to the airport, and I told Kevin, I was like, can you extend your room for another 2 nights? I'm just going to stay here. He's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. And he extended his room. I stayed, and I never looked back.
Okay, we've got something missing in this conversation. You're a medical rep who's miserable, and you moved to Dubai, and you're with Kevin Hart. Okay, link the Kevin Hart to me, please, so I can understand how that happened.
So I was miserable in Michigan. He was on tour. They said they're gonna come to Abu Dhabi. I said, okay, I'll meet you guys there. I came to Abu Dhabi, and I never left. I never went back.
So you came pretty much just because of that?
Yeah, I came because of that.
You weren't coming here looking for a job in Abu Dhabi?
But I've been here before because my uncle, my mom's brother, moved here over 65 years ago. He's a local. All his kids are locals, and I visited him a few times, and I always thought about moving here, but when I came on that trip, that's when I was like, okay, my mind's made up. I'm just gonna stay here.
But when you left Michigan, you were depressed.
Yeah.
So you were down on yourself. You had some cash in your pocket, but you were down on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What did it feel like when you opened the curtains to sunrise here for the first time?
I felt like I was welcomed by the right people.
And which mosque did you go to?
I always went to the one on Jumeirah Beach Road.
But you were down in Abu Dhabi, so you prayed down when you were there.
Yeah, so I would stay 2 days there, and then I came here, and I remember I stayed at the Sheraton Grand on Sheikh Zayed Road for 6 months before I started working with one of the local families here. And
what did it feel like praying here compared to praying back in the US?
It felt real. It felt real. You know, to hear the adhan 5 times a day, everywhere you went. We have, you know, mosque here like America has gas stations on every corner, and it just felt good. I knew I made the right decision.
And so tell me about this journey about coming to Dubai. You came to Dubai, you're here for a couple of days, and then you're sitting saying to yourself, right, got to find a job, got to start a business, got to do something. What did you do?
So I contacted the company I worked for because I always...
The catheter company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never burned my bridges anywhere I went. So I always, you know, I told them honestly, I'm not happy here and I don't want to continue. And then when I got here, I, you know, reached out to them and I said, hey, you know, this is a huge territory, a huge region for obesity, diabetes, amputations. If you look at the numbers, like the Middle East, there's like 5 or 6 countries in the top 10 for amputations and diabetes. And so my catheter was for, it's called CTOs, chronic total occlusions, for the peripherals, which are the legs. And so what happens is they call it the silent killer because people always feel like when they have pain in their heart, that's when they go see a doctor. But when they have pain in their legs, they don't understand that that also causes heart attacks, and amputations causes heart attacks. So when there's no blood flow, it develops gangrene, then amputation, then heart attack. So I reached out to them and I said, hey man, there's a huge population of, you know, diabetics and obesity and cholesterol, high cholesterol. So I think this is a good opportunity. So they gave me the rights to the company. And my goal was to start my own medical distribution company and hire my own sales reps. And that's where I started working my way up.
Did you ever, as you started that, did you ever, after losing your dad so young, did you ever feel like you had something to prove? Did you need to show him up in heaven that you were going to make something of yourself, or?
No, I would be lying if I told you yes, but I never got to know my dad. Never, you know? So for me, it's more of making my mom proud because she went through a lot, you know? When my dad passed away, she was very young, had to raise 5 kids on her own. So for me, it was more of like trying to make her proud and make her not stress so much, you know?
What's your mum like?
When you see me, you see my mom. I get everything from her.
How often do you speak to mum?
Every day.
What do you miss most about her?
Her silent prayers. Because everything I am today is because of her prayers, not because of who I am. You know, they say heaven lies between the mother's feet, beneath the mother's feet. So true.
Is making mum proud important?
Very important. Number 1 on the list.
Do you think you do that?
I hope so.
If I had her right in here right now, come and join us. and sit with us for half an hour and join us on
She'll
the
be
show.
crying. She won't last. She won't.
Whenever I ask people about their mums, people always often refer to food. The food that mum cooks. You didn't.
She's a great cook, but no, there's more than that.
You think she's proud?
I think so.
Sounds like one heck of a lady.
Very tough.
How often do you see her?
I try not to go more than 2 months without going over there.
Mm-hmm. So five times a year, then every couple of months, yeah?
Yeah.
They said that so my parents are both around 80 years old. How old's your mum?
78.
So yeah, similar ages. So they said to me, imagine if your mum and dad live till they're 90. I'm okay. And you go see them twice a year. My parents are in Cyprus. They retired there. You go see them twice a year. You're going to see your parents 20 more times before they die. I was like, whoa. That's just not cool. And I thought to myself, okay, I go there every 3 months. Okay, so you see them 40 times. 40 hugs, 40 lunches, 40 conversations, 40 moments, 40 belly laughing evenings, 40 bad pieces of advice sessions. That's it. I'm like, doesn't even feel right. Single people that I want to make proud more than anything in the world are them. I think with the work you've done, I think you've done a pretty good job of that.
Thank you.
I should call her and find out. So you came to Dubai. It's like you live in the Middle East. You now got these mosques around you. It's beautiful. 950,000 degrees in the summer. Humidity at over 100%. You can't breathe when you go out the front door. But don't worry. At least it's not Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
and you're here.
Nothing against Michigan. I met some great people there, and I'm still keep in touch with them. They're like my family. They took me in, I love it. I just wasn't as happy there as I am here.
Hey man, I lived in Amsterdam and Holland before I lived here. I had 4 years there. It was grey every day. It was dark at 4 p.m. Nothing wrong with the people. It's just the environment sometimes, isn't it? So I get what you mean, So when we try and understand this past, do you think that when you lose people, when you lose family, brother, dad, and stuff like that, when you're young, do you think for a lot of people that's a test of how they can come through it? And do you feel like that test was a test while you were going through your wild period that you weren't able to pass?
Absolutely. 100%.
And when you look at your brother versus your father, which one do you think had the most impact on you?
I mean, they were both so close apart. I think my oldest brother now is the one that had the most impact on me.
May I ask how he died?
Car accident.
Because you remember him much more, his face and stuff. Is that why?
No. He when my father was going through treatment for cancer, he was the one that was looking after me.
So let's talk about the Dubai story, the one that everyone knows you for. You've been on the bloody telly, you've been on your bling this and bling that and all these different kind of celebrity environments. You've got a huge audience on social media. You go out there and you do a lot of great work, which we'll come to. Did it take you long to work out how to use Dubai to get known? At first, did you find it quite easy?
No, I found it quite easy.
Why? What did you do? Give me an understanding of it.
Because one thing that America teaches you is confidence.
Yeah.
I realized in America you can't use it that much because everyone knows the game.
Everyone's got it.
Everyone's got it. So here, anywhere I went, if I held my chest high and spoke with confidence and knew what I was talking about, it opened doors for me. So,
you were the king of catheters, so you were confident.
But there's still some places in the hospital that I wanted to get to, I couldn't get in. But when I walked in acting like I was a doctor and knew what I was talking about more than the security knew, he opened the doors for me. And people were like, how'd you get in here? I know my shit. So I would say confidence.
And was doing business here a completely different game to what it was in the States?
Completely different, especially in healthcare. So that's why I tried doing the healthcare thing for a year, and I just realized it's like back then it was like they weren't at the same level as America for healthcare, and I noticed why the locals here go abroad to get treated.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
and just healthcare wasn't the same as America, and
The facilities or the doctors?
I would say the facilities, the doctors. You know, like in America, we can't. You know, once you open up a product, the insurance pays for it. Here, hospitals wanted everything on consignment, and I had to wait 120, 150 days to get paid if I got paid. You know, and these devices are super expensive, and I just saw they were more focused on entertainment than healthcare. And I come from an entertainment background, so I said, okay, you know what? I tried to do the right thing, but let's jump into the entertainment side.
So then, how long were you working in the medical field here before you kind of threw the towel in?
So if you want the real story,
Yeah.
when I was trying to get started, every time a celebrity would come to Dubai, the first person they reach out to was me because they're comfortable around me. They knew me from Miami. They knew me from the States. And this is a different territory for them, you know? So they wanted to be around someone they know already, that they're comfortable with. So every time they would call me, I would be with them. And one of the first stops we always made was the Belhassa farm.
Oh, yeah.
With the animals.
Yeah.
And so I went there a few times, got to meet the family, met the son. Mind you, this is 2017, 2018.
He was young then.
This
Safe.
is when, not Safe, but the son, Rashid Belhassa.
Okay, Rashid.
But I know Safe very well. And then I saw myself doing a lot of favors for the family with nothing in return. I didn't want anything in return. I just did it from the kindness of my heart. And at the time, the kid was looking up to me like, who is this guy? You know, knows all these celebrities, speaks Arabic, this and that. So he got attached to me. Always wanted to be around me. So Saif, his father, came up to me and said, hey, let's do this medical business together. And I was super excited. So we started our company called SNF Medical, Saif and Fadie Medical. And we started, and after 2 years working with the family, great family, amazing, I just, we never really focused on the medical. We focused on more of his son and bringing up his son. I'm the one that gave him the name FadieCakes. I'm the one that helped him build his sneaker farm in the middle of the farm.
Yeah.
I'm the one that introduced him to Fat Joe. I'm the one that took him to America for 7 times. Only time he's ever been to America by himself. I took him to Miami, New York, Chicago, LA, Puerto Rico. Did tons of YouTube videos that went crazy viral. And then I said, you know, I didn't move here to manage a kid. I wanted to do my own thing. And then that's when I finally stepped out and started my own company and started brokering deals for different parts of the city, you know, whether it's Dubai tourism or private families or brands and stuff like that. So I found myself just brokering deals between US and Dubai.
Would you consider yourself a master networker?
Oh, 100%. Everyone knows that.
And as a networker, you put yourself into environments that other people would feel uncomfortable going into.
Mm-hmm.
Just like anybody else in networking, you kiss some frogs to find the princes and the opportunities. Do you enjoy networking?
I love it.
Do you?
I just spoke at a high school, ASD,
Uh-huh.
and they said, what advice would you give these kids? I said, my biggest advice to you guys is network wherever you go. Because the saying, you know, your net worth is your network, it's very true. I know a lot of people with a lot of money, millionaires, billionaires, but none of them have the connections I have. And without connections, you can't do nothing.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a story about networking. I hate networking, like passionately hate networking. I hate it. Okay, I don't mind if you said to me, "Hey, Spence, come and meet my friend Kerry." Okay, and have a coffee together. I think you and Kerry have got stuff to talk about. Okay, that's fine. But going into a room full of strangers for me is literally an overload of why am I here? But and most people say, you networking, Spence, networking should be something that you would enjoy. But I don't. But I love meeting people. And so on this very show, just a few weeks ago, I was hypnotized to try and get over my problem of networking, because I had to go to the 1 billion follower summit and I had to go and talk to people and I didn't want to go, and I was trying to find every reason.
I got invited there, but I said, if I'm not speaking, I don't want to come.
Okay, well, I was doing some stuff with Mo Vlogs and it was like, we need to do this while you're there.
I raised him. He knows me.
I overcome some of my challenges, and then the following week we were invited to a networking event. Kerry, actually, who's here with us now, and neither of us wanted to go. But when we got there, we had a great time. And sometimes it's the fear of something that stops you doing it rather than the reality of the situation. For you, you never feared networking. So you've got that inbuilt gene where you see the benefit in meeting new people all the time.
No, I don't see it that way. How I see it is, I'm an introvert. I'm not a man of many words. People don't believe that when they see it, but it's true. Like if you ask my wife, I don't speak. I hardly speak. I speak when I have to. I speak when I have to. Like when I do my speeches at the Given Family, I do it because I have to do it, not because I want to do it. And for me, when I go into a room, if I don't feel the energy, if I don't feel like someone's going to benefit me in what I do to make this world better, then I don't speak. I'm very particular on who I network with and who I want to get. I have, there's a list of people that I go after. I don't just want to meet anybody. Like you said, I don't like people. I think people are what make the world what it is right now, a mess, I go with the energy, and I go with I'm not afraid to go after someone that I need to go after.
Connection's really important. Finding somebody who knows somebody is a skill that you've got and develop, and then you've built your black book up over the years into a very valuable contact list of people that you've helped and help you. What kind of business were you doing with these people in the early years?
While I'm in Dubai?
Yeah, in those early years of you being here in Dubai, once you came away from the medical, think about
brokering deals for campaigns.
Like what?
For instance, I did a deal with DJ Khaled with GMG, Nike, and Jordan Brand.
Okay.
They own Sun and Sands. I did a huge campaign with Sun and Sands.
So a media campaign.
Yeah, media campaigns. Yeah, and these are in the millions of dollars. I did.
So and where do you fit in that ecosystem there? Because you'll obviously have the agency, you'll have the production team, you'll have the client. Yeah. Where do you fit in? You bring them all together?
I just bring them together and
take a cut of the fees?
I take a cut from both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how you were making your money?
Yes.
And those types of deals back then, when you were doing that all the time, they were easy to come together?
Yeah. Very easy. Because when it comes to America, when you deal with me, you don't have to deal with agencies like CAA or UTA or whoever they are. You don't have to deal with them. I deal directly with the client that they want, directly with the celebrity, and it's very easy.
So the brand would come to you often and say, get me that dude, get me that lady. That's who we'd like as part of our ABC, XYZ. Okay, cool. That's nice. And there'd be some people you didn't know and you're like, how do I get hold of that person?
And then also when a celebrity is here to perform or do an event, it's even easier for clients because they don't have to fly him over. They don't have to get his hotel. He's already here. So I would reach out to all the people I know and say, hey, this person's here. Would you want to do something with them? And it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. And how many years were you doing that successfully for?
Still do it to this day.
To this very day, it still goes on. Yeah. And would you say that's your main source of income?
No. I'm very, I'm very picky with who I work with now. Like sometimes now I have to turn down celebrities. It depends on who they are. I'm more focused on the global image, no no record, no background. It's like, um, but now I'm focused on my other ventures that I started.
Okay, we'll come on to those in a minute because there's lots of great stuff there. With the whole Jeffrey Epstein scandal that's taken place in the press over the last few years.
I don't know what to believe. I'm afraid my name's gonna come in there. Like, I don't know.
Well,
With AI and stuff, what's going on right now, like you don't know what to believe, So like, for me, it's better to just stay out of that shit and not even deal with it. Like, it's getting out of control.
I was on Facebook earlier and somebody I know posted something saying, I know my name's in there. Okay. I have nothing to do with it. Okay. It's not fake. It's real. I have nothing to do. I was invited to something which I refused to, and the email shows that I refused to go. And I read it and I'm like, oh, he's been set up. So I screenshotted it and I sent it to him on WhatsApp. I said, someone's trying to set you up on Facebook. And he's like, no, I wrote that. And I'm like, wow, but you're right. You don't know who to believe and who not. Do you think that the Illuminati is starting to get exposed?
I think so.
And do you think it's hard for them now to keep the lid on?
I think so, yeah.
Where will that take us? Because you have the whole, Diddy and everybody else.
I hope it's just a phase, but it's just getting stronger and stronger. I can't predict where it's gonna go. I don't know. So for me, it's like, it's better for me not to even focus on that or give it the attention that that it wants. And for me, there's better things for me to do than focus on the Epstein.
Yeah, but that could be a business risk for you.
Not really.
Well, you don't know who people know, do you? At the end of the day, we had Lord Mandelson in the UK had to resign from the House of Lords yesterday. We had all of that guy. He was the ambassador to America, but that stuff came out and no one knew that. And then it's all that kind of like by association stuff that goes on, and the way that the kind of undercover media work. That I again, you're right. Who do you believe? What's the truth? What else is coming next? They said there's thousands of documents released. It's like, do you think lots of celebrities are sitting there panicking that?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Worried that,
for sure. And I love that part because I think they all need to go down because they're no better than everyone else. That's the problem. Some of these people, they take fame and take advantage of it. Like Diddy, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these people deserve to be where they are. Like, you're no better than everyone else. You can't take advantage of what God's given you, So for me, I hope they all go down one by one. Because if they're not doing something good in this world, they need to go down.
Who's the nicest, kindest celebrity you've ever worked with?
That's tough.
Humblest?
I would say Kevin Hart.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Tell me why.
I mean, he's a comedian he's a comedian for a living. You know what I mean? And he's a comedian outside of work. So for me, if you can make someone laugh, that's a good trait to have.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone should be smiling, not down.
A good man to choose, Kevin Hart.
He makes people happy.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
he does. Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
I am.
And do you think that word is kind of celebrated more than it should be?
Yeah.
When I'm 55 years old, when I was a kid, that word didn't exist. It was you were either self-employed or a small business owner or an SME or a CEO or a chairman or something. This word didn't exist. And now it seems to be like a term that people aspire to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a great thing to have on my bio and everything, but now I'm starting to fade away from that, and I'd rather have philanthropy instead of entrepreneur.
Yeah, for sure. But let's just stay on that for a minute, because I want to dig into this a bit about entrepreneurship. Being successful in business isn't easy, is it? A lot of people fail. Good people fail. Like real, honest, humble people fail. So do you think becoming an entrepreneur is something people with natural tendencies and abilities can become? Or do you think becoming a successful entrepreneur is something that can be taught and trained?
Opportunities are free.
Mm-hmm.
Like people say America's the land of opportunity, but I think that's so wrong. I think the UAE is the land of opportunity,
Big time.
and I look at it like an artist with a blank canvas, and he just starts painting, And I feel like everyone could be an entrepreneur, especially here. Um, you just got to be smart. Like I tell people, like don't rush a good thing. People like to rush into things and do things. Don't ever rush a good thing. Plan it right. Do your research. Know your competition, and pray for the best. But it's an opportunity for everyone to do it. It's just the problem is not many people are hungry enough to do it. Not many people want to take on that responsibility. People feel like they rather have a 9 to 5 than to own their own business.
So you're telling me, in your opinion, which I don't disagree with, by the way, that they're not hungry enough to become. So
Soft. They're soft, and that's the problem these days. Kids they're not growing up like we grew up. They have to access to too much online. Now they rather sit there. Before we love playing sports. We didn't have access to the internet. Now everyone just wants to stay home, online, gaming, this and that, being lazy, fat, no exercise, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before every single kid played sports. Now every kid's online. It's like the sports faded away and now the online is taking over,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the same way with entrepreneurship. It's like no one wants to start a business when they rather just do something easier. They want the easy way out.
But is having a salary, working 9 to 5, a joy or torture?
For me, making someone else money is not my thing. When I can make my own money for myself,
Mm-hmm. But when
you should be looking up to your boss and say, you know what, I want to do what he did and do it on my own.
But do you think that? I look at sales as a form of entrepreneurship, learning the skills of finding prospects.
If you're getting a commission, then you look at it as entrepreneurship, because the harder you sell, the more money you make.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just getting a basic salary, then there's no hunger, there's no entrepreneurship in that. It's just like a simple job.
But I look at that. If you paid me, I came to work for you and you said, there you go, there's $10,000 a month. That's your salary. All of a sudden, you've just put me into a situation where I have to plan my whole life around that amount of money. Everything is planned around that. I mean, I'm imprisoned by it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm imprisoned by it, I now can't necessarily do the things that I want. And you could put me next to somebody in your office and that person's on the same salary and I could work twice as hard as them and we get paid the same.
Yeah.
That'd be soul destroying.
Yeah. And think about it, the corporate world is like, what have you done for me lately? They don't care about the past. You can get fired any day.
At the end of the day, you're just a number. Is that what you think? Yeah. In the big corporate world. But should everyone try, if that's the case, should everyone try entrepreneurship?
Yes.
That's interesting. Why?
Because you got, there's a saying, right? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
So if you start something, you're starting it because you love it and you have the passion for it and you want to do it. You're not going to start something if you don't want to do it and you don't have the love for it. So why not try it?
But you're an entrepreneur, okay? I come to you, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know how to do it. I'm scared. Where do I start?
What do you love? What do you love to do?
I love Formula One. I love hiking. I like climbing mountains.
Okay, find something that Formula One is missing that it needs and do your research on it and see how we can start it.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. You don't have to complicate things.
Really simple.
Super simple.
Do you think boring industries make more money than exciting industries?
Oh, yeah. That's a fact.
And when you think about it...
Anything in life, anything in life. Women, they love bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like a boring guy, square, Same in the industry.
But the boring industries make the money. The boring businesses are where that money comes in consists. So I'm in financial services and insurance. Couldn't get more boring if you tried.
I can tell you make a lot of money.
Oh, really? Okay, moving on. Let's talk about other parts of your life. I find it quite interesting as you come over here. It's like you've taken advantage of being an entrepreneur over here, and as you're an entrepreneur over here, you've seen this world of opportunity, like I did 21 years ago when I came. I was just, oh my goodness, there is opportunity here. Fast growing city, population growing, demographics right, wealth right. We've been able to see past that curtain of nonsense that the West spreads about, slavery and all this kind of stuff that exists here. We can see past that. And all of the usual things, the safety and the great opportunity to be able to do business here. But as much as many companies start, lots of companies fail. I don't believe everyone could be an entrepreneur. I believe you've got to have balls of steel to become an entrepreneur. I think you've got to have an insane work ethic. And I think being an entrepreneur is the same as that fat guy that's got to get up and go to the gym on January the 1st and go there every day. No matter how fat he is, he's got to go there. No matter how embarrassed he is, uncomfortable he is, it's that showing up on day one of that big guy in the gym is the start of the journey. And if you can get to the end of the year and you've gone every day and you've made yourself strong and you've lost weight, that one we've all seen on YouTube, wherever it may be, that guy is the guy that's got the mettle. He's got the mustard. He's got the drive to be able to do it. And we all know that the first 2 weeks of the new year, everyone joins the gym or goes on a dry January or whatever it is that they do, but they give up after 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks. I think it's 13 days or something stupid, isn't it? And so I don't think everybody can be. I think everyone
can be,
I think everyone would like to be in control,
but not everyone's going to be successful. Everyone's going to always want to try. Everyone always has an idea.
Yeah, I think people have ideas. But I also think that some people think entrepreneurship is different to what it is. To me, entrepreneurship is a long, hard,
Journey.
tough slog, how many times have you been in a place where you're trying to build a business and, it's Sunday and you just got to crack on, or it's a public holiday and you just got to crack on, or people around you are going on vacation. You're like, I haven't got time for that right now. Okay, I've got to get stuck in. So it is a slog. And I think sometimes it's kind of sensationalized that it's actually more fun than it is. But you being a successful entrepreneur only too well, how bloody hard it is to get somewhere. How do you deal with rejection?
I'm okay with rejection.
How do you process it?
I just look at it like, damn, I wasn't that good. What do I got to do? How do I fix it? And it just makes me build it. Like, I don't believe in revenge, but I believe in, like, coming back stronger for myself, not for who rejected me.
Well, you did something just then that was the actual real answer that everyone should hear. And the words that you used, the most important words were I. You took responsibility for rejection. How do I fix it? How do I get better? How do I improve? How do I? And that's one of the most powerful things I think people can use with rejection. It's on me. You rejected me and it's on me. So let's say I reached out to you and asked you to come on the podcast. You didn't come. Okay. Now, secretly, I'd be like, mother. Okay. I'd be annoyed at you. But I'd be saying to myself, okay, he doesn't think I'm good enough to come on my show. Okay. I'll have to try another way. I'll have to think another way. And if you know the story of Tony Robbins and how he came on the show, for him to get on the show, we got rejection. It was like, nah, I'm not accepting rejection. I've got to find another way. But I could have done, and that's like most people in business, I could have gone, oh, well, that's never going to happen, and give up and surrender. So when we deal with rejection, the fact that you've owned it, I think it's really important. Just in your, as you said it, just take full responsibility. Interesting. I want to talk to you about some of the successes you've had, okay? Being a Palestinian, living in a Muslim country, okay, having all these connections. Do you think you've been used by people at all over the years? How do you feel about being used?
It's draining and it hurts.
Give me an example.
It's just like you see a lot of people get close to you and you think like, okay, this is a good person or whatever, and then once they, because for me, if you don't know me that well, but like everyone that knows me, I'm I'm quick to give out contacts. I give out contacts left and right to anyone they need because I feel like, if someone's loyal to me, they're gonna be loyal. If not, they're not. And it hurts to see people I connected become good friends, and it's just like doing things behind my back without me knowing, like especially in business with brokering deals and stuff like that. Till this day, there's so many people out there that I connected and they're doing business and I never got paid from it. A lot. So many. And I feel like here is worse than America. That's the sad part. It's like they hype you up, they speak all about you, they love you, they're your best friend, and then next thing you know, they're doing business with all the contacts you gave them.
But isn't it interesting how there's two ways to go when that happens? One way is, okay, contractualize everything.
Yes. And I tried that.
Okay.
I tried that, but laws here work different,
Yeah.
For example, I did the biggest concert in history, and I got 2 Guinness World Records for bringing Kiss here during New Year's.
Uh-huh.
I'm the one that brokered that deal.
Okay.
And I did a contract here with a huge law firm, and I still got screwed for 250,000 US dollars, and I couldn't win the case. And these people came from America. I introduced them to everyone in the government, did a huge successful show, went crazy at the Atlantis, never got paid.
How much money have you lost to deals where you didn't
Millions.
Okay, millions. What? 1 million, 100 million, 10 million? What?
Millions.
Millions and millions of dollars that were supposed to come to you, that people took advantage of you, used your contacts, used your network, and then in return stuck 2 fingers up.
I told you a story before we came on air.
Yeah, and that's just, is that the price of doing that type of business?
I mean, if you want short term, yeah. Long term, it doesn't last.
And you let it be because it's better for your inner peace.
Yeah, because now I'm married. I have a son. I look at things differently. Before, when I was single, I would want to fight and start something. But now it's not. Things have changed. Like they say, the older you get, the wiser you get. So for me, I wish the best. I feel like they're always gonna come back and need you again. You just gotta, you gotta kill them with success.
Do we believe in kind of karma as we get older? Do you think?
Yeah.
It's just like their turn will come.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you screwed me. I can get aggressive. I can get wound up, but I'll just sit in the bleachers and watch type of thing. You started FadieCakes. Why?
I've always had that love for cakes. Anywhere I go, all my life, the first thing I look at is what's on the dessert menu. I love cakes. Yeah, I don't think anyone knows cake like I know cake.
Who was making cake for you that made you fall in love with cake?
No, it's just like growing up in America, I feel like America's the best place for cake. Not to say that it's healthy. Yeah, hands down.
You say America's the best place for cake?
Hands down.
I tell you what, the Austrians would be pretty pissed off here.
Well, I never tried
the
Australian
French, Austrians.
No, the French got nothing on America when it comes to cake. When it comes to flavor, consistency, moisture, sugar, unhealthy, it's America. and I have that rush for it.
But where does that come from? Where does this idea come from to be in the cake business? I mean, you weren't historically a cake guy.
No, but I've always had the Instagram handle FadieCakes because my friends gave it to me probably 8 years ago. They said, man, your name should be FadieCakes as much as you love cakes. So my name was always FadieCakes. And then I've always wanted to start the brand. I've always wanted to start my own bakery or my own cakes. And I traveled so a friend of mine came up to me and said, hey, man, I think you need to start your own box mix, like Betty Crocker and Duncan Hines and
stuff that you can buy off the shelf and make yourself.
Yeah, so start your own box mix. And I was like, man, this is incredible. I love the idea, like to see my box on the shelf to make a cake mix. and I traveled to Turkey, Jordan, Lebanon, America to go to all these cake mix factories.
Right.
And every time I went, I would take a box of Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker and say, "Hey, if you can make me this same mix, if you can figure out their secret, I'm signing with you." And no one could make that. No one could figure out that secret.
Oh, really?
No one. And if you ever buy a box of Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines, it's the best thing ever for 30 minutes. You know, it takes you 30 minutes to whip it up, put it in the oven, and make it, and it tastes incredible. It tastes
Yeah.
better than some of these cakes in these stores
Yeah.
for a box mix.
Yeah.
You know, and they couldn't make it. So then I got introduced to my chef now, Chef Noel, who's the creator of the viral chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Filipino, amazing guy, super humble. I got introduced to him, and I said, "Hey, man, do you understand cake?" He said, "I understand cake." I said, "Everyone tells me that, but do you really understand cake?" So for 1 year, I was bringing my favorite cake in America here to Dubai. Every other week, I would have it shipped here for 1 year straight.
What was it?
It's a brand in America. I'm not going to say the brand. They didn't want to give me the rights to the region, so I
But
said,
what type of cake is it?
it's a bunt cake.
A what cake?
A bunt. BUNDT.
A bunt cake.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
It has a special shape to it. But people make it here, but it's always dry.
Okay.
So for 1 year, every other week, I would bring him these cakes, and I say, make it, make it, make it. And the first try he made it, it was close to perfect. And then I was like, okay, let's try these flavors. Let's try these flavors. Let's play with these flavors. And like he started it started becoming fun. And so I said, listen, I know what happened to you. I know your story, and I know it hurts because this viral chocolate is all over the world right now. And this is your idea. This is, whatever that happened, that's not my, but I told him before we even start, I'm going to give you some equity because I'm not that type of person. We put it on paper. We started a company, and we launched on December 12th at Seoul DXB. And like, I knew how much I did for this city, how much I did for this community, how much I did for so many people. Like, you automatically think like you're going to get that same love back, right? But you never know. So I was still kind of nervous when we were doing this launch. Like, I built this huge booth, incredible booth. I put the mascot up with me and my son. Because I feel like, growing up, when I was growing up, like we loved the Ronald McDonald of McDonald's. We loved the King of Burger King, the Wendy's mascot. So I feel like growing up, we love seeing these mascots, and I feel like brands started fading away from these mascots. So I built a sculpture of me and my son holding a bunt cake, and I said, you know what? We're the Ronald McDonald of cakes. And now when we do franchises, I want this mascot everywhere we go. So we did the launch at Seoul DXB, and we sold out every single night. It went on till 2 a.m. We were sold out at 10 p.m. And the reaction was crazy. Everyone loved it. And here we are today trying to expand.
And so how long has that business been going?
2.5 months.
That's it?
Yeah.
2.5 months. And the whole plan is to build out a franchise business?
Yeah.
Okay. This is close to my heart because my eldest daughter, lives in France, in Toulouse, and she bakes cookies, and she sells cookies, hundreds of cookies every day, stuffed cookies.
It makes people happy, man.
Yeah.
Sugar makes people happy.
It definitely does. And I said to her, you're going to France, like the home of artisan pastry. Do you really want to be taking on the French?
They're good for their baguettes and croissants, but when it comes to cake, they have nothing on FadieCakes.
But it's going to be good to find out. And so you hope to build that and franchise that model out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the entrepreneur side of you.
Mm-hmm.
But where does this kindness, this kind soul come from? And what did he do with that kindness inside of him? Because the giving movement was put together. Mm-hmm. And that comes from someone that must have a really, really big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about where your inspiration for that was.
So I started that 9 years ago, and I felt like, you know, coming from America, like you said, we looked at Dubai as modern day slavery. And there's a documentary on that on ABC or NBC, one of those. And that's how I saw it, until I actually came here and got to meet these labor workers because they're everywhere, and I got to meet them. You learn their story, you hear about their story, and you learn a lot about them and where they come from and everything, and you realize like our ruler has given these people an opportunity of a lifetime, and it's saving their lives because what they make here is providing for their families back home. And if they were back home, they have nothing. So not only are they providing for their families back home, but they're living in a beautiful city and a safe city, and they enjoy the city. You know what I mean? And I always looked at it like I felt like they really weren't appreciated enough. And so, because I feel like everyone lives in the city because of them, everyone moves to the city
They
because
built
of
it.
them, everyone wants to move to the city because of them, and they don't get to enjoy it like we're enjoying it. And I feel like we only get one life in this world, and we're blessed to be in the position we're in. They weren't, you know? So I feel like giving them a taste of everything we taste. So as a brand promise with FadieCakes, I said for every cake we sell, we feed a labor worker. And that's going through my charity, The Giving Family, which I started 9 years ago. Um, During Ramadan, I just went out on my own to one of the camps that we distribute at now to this day, and I fed 400 people on my own. And I saw how bad they wanted food and how happy they were to get food and how sad I was to see the people I left that I couldn't feed. So it made me want to give back more. So I wasn't going consistently, but I was going like once a week, then twice a week, then like getting a friend to come with me. Then I kept building up that way. And before you know it, I had a couple hundred people working with me, and then COVID came. And COVID came, we had to shut down for 2 years because there was no social gatherings, and it was always in the back of my mind. And so right after COVID, I said, you know what? We're starting from day one, and I want to do 30 days consistently for Ramadan, which I never did before. It was always like scattered. And I got a few of my friends to work with me, and I did an interview on Virgin Radio with Chris Fade, a good friend of mine. And I did that interview at like 7, 8 in the morning. And that afternoon, I had like 500 volunteers show up. And then from there, it just kept growing and growing. And then we went viral. And now we do about 1.2 million meals a year. We do almost a 500,000 just for the month of Ramadan. And I have over 6,000 volunteers.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You must be really proud of that.
Yeah.
So many people impacted by you.
Mm-hmm.
You realize the impact you're having?
No. I just do it.
Why?
It's an addiction. For me, it's like, I tell people, a lot of people come to Dubai and they say, man, they can't meet good people or real people here, and I say, well, you haven't been to the Giving Family. I say, it's not about just giving food, but it's about building a community of good people. We had 4 couples meet at the Giving Family and got married and had kids. One of them just had a baby boy a week ago. One of them had twins. 4 couples met and got married at the Giving Family. A few people converted to Islam and did their shahada at the Giving Family. People come from the UK and say, man, I heard all about this, and like, I can't believe I'm here and I'm meeting so many amazing people. This is incredible.
So let me just put this together correctly so I understand it. You came up with an idea. You wanted to help. You started to help. You started to help more people. You asked for volunteers. You got people to come along and support because what you were doing was the right thing. And now you're a dating agency because you got people together and built relationships. How cool is that? Oh, from you.
So it's
Let
I'm
alone
nothing without the volunteers. And I tell them that all the time. Without the volunteers, we're no one.
Somebody once said to me about something. They said this sentence. I said, why did you do it? And they said, because it was the right thing to do. And when they said that to me, it really resonated with me. And and I went through that with a number of different things. And this person's response to me always was, it's the right thing to do. And I look at what you do, and it's just the right thing to do, isn't it? Because there's no other option. How often do you have the volunteering events?
Outside of Ramadan, we do it every Sunday.
And where is it every Sunday?
It's in our cause, the same place.
So people every Sunday go to our cause and they help and they're doing whatever they can to prepare.
We do between 2,000 to 3,000 meals every Sunday. But during Ramadan, we do between 10,000 to 15,000 meals a day for 30 days.
Do you ever have too many volunteers?
I never say we have too many. I encourage everyone to come.
Every Sunday, people can come down for a couple of hours or afternoon in the morning. What time do you start?
Depends on the weather. If it's
this time of year?
This time of year, we start around 4 o'clock.
In the afternoon? And you go through till the evening?
Till 6. It usually takes no more than 2 hours.
Okay. And in the summer months?
Summer months, we kind of take a break because it's too hot. We do other things like we pass out like ice cream or popsicles to different sites, water. We do different things.
But every week?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get the food from?
Donations.
Where do you get the marketing structure around it all?
Just word of mouth. My Instagram and then word of mouth. And we partner up with Raham, so we don't even touch the money. So no one could ever say like, oh, they took advantage of it. So no, it goes to the government and they tell us what's in the account.
Out of all the things you do, what's your favorite thing?
Giving back.
And why is it important for people to give back? Why does it matter so much?
Because it humbles people. It shows people how blessed we have it, how lucky we are to be in the position we're in. To show you that these people are just like us, but they're just not as fortunate as us.
Talk to me about this holy month. What does it mean to you?
Oh, man. It's another opportunity to change your life and give back and get caught up on your prayers and just appreciate what God gives us. And I always tell people, like we don't have all Muslims that come to the Giving Family. I say it's not about religion, color, or race. It's just about good people coming together and doing good. And Ramadan gives us that opportunity to give back. The whole city's giving back. So, it lets people know that even if you're not Muslim, you can still give back with us.
Not everybody really understands Ramadan. They might think it's a time of year. Oh yeah, they're Muslims. It's their Muslim time of year, and they have that Eid celebration, which is like Muslim Christmas, and they don't necessarily always understand what it is. Can you help everybody understand what it is, why it's there?
So Ramadan is one of our 5 pillars to be a Muslim. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam, right? So you have, doing Ramadan, fasting for Ramadan, believing, our God, giving back, praying 5 times a day, and making a pilgrimage to Mecca, right? Well, as a Muslim, during Ramadan, you knock off 4 of those things out of the 5 in just 1 month. You give back, you fast, you believe in God, and you pray 5 times a day. So you're knocking off 4 out of the 5 in just in 30 days. Like, how amazing is that?
Mm-hmm.
And you do it with the whole city that's doing it together. It makes it even better. In America, they don't care about Ramadan. They don't care about what's going on. It's just another holiday for them. But here, we take it seriously. Everyone respects it. Everyone follows it. And it's beautiful to see everyone doing it together.
And you've lived in different countries, so you can make those comparisons. When people visit the UAE, 10, 15, 20 years ago when I was here, people say, oh, you don't come visit in Ramadan, you can't go to restaurants and stuff like that during the day. But now it seems to be that that you do come in Ramadan,
Yeah.
because I think more people understand it.
Yeah.
You know, they understand that it's a joyful time as much as it is
It's my favorite time
a
of the
time
year.
of self-reflection as well. You know, when I first heard many years ago, it's that the reason that you fast, and just share that so everyone understands. What is the reason to fast?
It's just so you can understand how the less fortunate feel that don't have food and don't have shelter, don't have direction. Because it's not just about fasting, it's about discipline. You know, it's about discipline and understanding what you're going through, what your body's going through every single day.
There are people out there that suffer enormously, and so just
Mhm.
to show them some respect. Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about Dubai Bling. Any regrets?
Nah, I'm a true believer of you never regret what you do, you regret what you don't do. So I got the opportunity, I tried it, it was fun, but it wasn't me.
Okay, no one who listening to this right now that knows you've been on Dubai Bling is going to accept any of that as the explanation, because they want to know the juicy bits. They want to understand the gossip behind something like that. Now, obviously, I know some people that have been in the show, but for everyone's benefit, okay, first of all, what is Dubai Bling for people that have never heard of it, which is a few people under a rock? Secondly, okay, what type of show was it for you, and what did you use it for?
So Dubai Bling is a reality show on Netflix, seen all over the world. I was in season 1. I was supposed to be the main character in season 1, and everyone that you see now are supposed to be the extras. If you want the juicy bits,
Get it out.
some things happened where right before we supposed to shoot, got canceled. So that's why you don't see me in episode 1 and 2. You see me coming 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What happened?
I have an NDA. I can get sued for that, so I won't say that. We could discuss it off the air.
Yeah, come on, give me a little bit. Give me something.
No, it was supposed to be someone with me that's really big in the community.
Okay. So they were supposed to be with you and they didn't make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyone involved in beauty?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't discuss that, but it was good while it lasted. But I noticed, man, how fake people are when the cameras come on.
Okay, but this is choreographed and staged as a show. This is not full reality TV.
No,
right?
it's not really. I mean, yes, it's that's what makes reality TV drama, right?
It's fake.
It's fake, yeah. But I mean,
You mean the people that then became?
I mean, nothing is like it's not scripted. I could tell you that.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, the directors are amazing. They did a great job because it sold, and they got what they wanted. You know.
But do you, after the dramas on the show that take place, do you all sit back and have a laugh about it?
I
Is
never watched after season 1.
Okay.
I never watched. I wouldn't even lie to you. I never watched after season 1, and from what I hear, all the ratings are dropping after season 1, and a lot of people are pulling out after season 1. But for me, it was more. There was more to life than just this reality TV, because after season 1 is when everything happened in Palestine and Gaza, and I was like, there's no way for me to do reality TV with what's going on, especially to my people, you know. So it was an easy decision for me, and it just, you know, I was more focused on what I can give back to this world and the giving family and my family, my own family.
Were you able to use the TV show to
Absolutely.
bring attention to
Absolutely.
Palestine?
It did help. And for me, it's like, you know, I felt good because I felt like they had someone from every part of this region, someone from Kuwait, someone from Saudi, someone from Lebanon. And I felt proud to say, you know, I was on there from Palestine, you know? So even now when I go to Palestine and I go to Jerusalem and I go to the Aqsa, like people come up to me and say, hey, we know you're from Dubai Bling. So that makes me feel good. But it was also good exposure as well, you know?
How big did your social media audience grow during that time?
Before, I mean, it grew pretty well. But it gave me the exposure that I would say I deserved, you know, because people got to know, okay, who is this guy? And they got to Google me and actually see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? other than a reality show.
So it was almost a door that was opened.
Yeah.
Through that, there came to other stuff. Could we come and film some content down at the...
Absolutely. I would
Family.
love for you guys to come.
Could we come and do that?
And so what we also do is, a lot of companies have CSR money. So because we're trusted and we're backed up by Dubai Police, Ministry of Human Resources, Islamic Affairs, Tarahum, all the companies now, every single year, we always have a waiting list of like 50, 60 companies that want to get in with the given family to distribute meals. And so what they do is they bring their whole staff, they wear their t-shirts, they bring the boxes to put the meals in for exposure. And I'm all for it. Like, I'm all for giving them the exposure as long as we know our main purpose is to feed these labor workers, because they know we're the biggest charity outside the government. And we get the most exposure all over. Like, we're in all the Khalij Times, the Gulf News, the National, Love in Dubai. So people come for the exposure, which I don't mind, but I always tell them, like, listen, our focus is distributing to these labor workers. And we even do a kids day. We do a kids day where we only allow parents to bring their kids, no other volunteers. And last year we had over 500-600 kids show up with their parents, and they loved it. So we cater to the kids, we cater to the companies, everyone. And then on the last 10 days of Ramadan, which are the most important 10 days of Ramadan, we post on our social medias for barbers to come out and give haircuts, and we usually do between 2,000 to 3,000 haircuts in the last 10 days for free. For Eid.
Shut the front door.
For Eid, yeah. We line up all the barbers. I buy all the chairs, and they all give them. I tell them you got 5 minutes to give them the best haircut they can get. We do a couple thousand haircuts in 10 days. Yeah.
That is so cool. You must be, so proud of what you're achieving. How genuinely, okay, no interview conversation here. That is just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, man. Massive respect to you. How amazing is that?
We also have VIP doctors there every Tuesday and Thursday that do free medical checkups like sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, everything like that for free.
As we would say in England, hat taken off.
Thank you.
Super cool. We have over 200 corporate clients that work with us in our business. I would love to introduce those companies.
Just come and see it for yourself. You'll see. We have people from...
I'll come on Sunday.
MMI, we have Marriott Group, we have Alabar Enterprises, we have Emar, we have Google, Microsoft, Kareem, Uber, Talabat, Deliveroo, Sephora, Huda Beauty does 4 dates, K Ali does 4 dates. You name it. The biggest brands, Marina Homes just contacted us. They want to do 10,000 meals on one day where they bring their whole staff. Every corporate wants to be part of it.
I was about to say, I'll bring some publicity, but you don't need any. Everyone knows.
So Instagram contacted us. They're doing one day where it's just for Meta and Instagram, and they're bringing over 200 creators and influencers, and they're all whatever they donate, Meta's matching it. So they're doing over 10,000 meals in one day. Yeah, this is a million times better than a reality show.
With the conversation
this needs to be a reality show of its own.
We should have just had a conversation about that. Okay. What was your most expensive mistake?
Time. A lot of time wasted.
On what?
Not getting married, not having kids. That changed my life.
That's interesting. A regret that still visits you.
Not getting married earlier.
How old were you when you got married?
44.
For some people with some levels of maturity, 44 is quite young. But for you, 44 was old in your mind. Having a family or getting married?
I wouldn't have a family without marriage, so I would say marriage and then having a family.
A lesson you learned too late?
Oh, good question. I don't know. We can come back to that one.
If your name is remembered for one thing, what should it be?
Giving back.
Did Dubai change you as a person?
So much. So much. It taught me patience. And one of our things in our Holy Quran is one of the most important words is sabr. It means patience.
Uh-huh.
When I was younger, I always wanted to pop off, like argue, fight, this. Here, they don't tolerate that, so you have to learn patience.
If you could describe Dubai in one sentence to you, what is it?
Opportunity.
I would say the modern day gold rush. You had it in San Francisco hundreds of years ago. I think it's here. And what's the best thing that Dubai gave you?
The giving family, FadieCakes, family, everything I have today is because of Dubai. I didn't bring nothing with me from this. I came with no luggage, no baggage, nothing. Everything's I created here.
You've done such interesting stuff along the way, and it's all interesting. But the thing you've done that is the single most important thing, that no matter what city in the world you did that in would have huge impact, is you've given up your time, your effort and energy to go out and do what you've done with.
Yeah, because I always tell people, people are always fighting for passive income, but no one's ever fighting for passive blessings. When you die, all that money you were getting, you don't take that with you. But when you do a good deed like helping the elderly out or feeding the poor or feeding labor workers or being nice to someone or just putting a smile on someone's face, that's a blessing that goes with you for the rest of your life, even when you're dead. So I call that passive blessings over passive income.
I love that. That's awesome. I'm a little bit in awe of the great work that you've done. So thank you so much for all of the commitment and the difference you've made to the people here in this city that really do need people like you.
Thank you.
Okay. You are not normal. You are unusual and you stand out because of that. And you should be enormously proud of that great work that you do, the difference that you make and the impact you have on so many people. And never forget that people need people like you. You're what I call a change maker.
Thank you.
So thank you for all you do.
I tell people the biggest blessing in life is seeing tomorrow. We always plan, we plan to do this show, right? Weeks before. People plan for tomorrow. People plan for next week. People plan for next month. But who promised us we're going to see that? So you think you're always going to have that chance to see tomorrow or the next day or the next week. But that's not promised to us. So that's why we have to be nice at the moment and never take it for granted. Because the biggest blessing is waking up and seeing the next day.
I struggle watching you, looking at you getting emotional, understanding. I'm not sure you understand what difference you're making. I'm not sure you understand the scale of the difference that you're making. I'm sure you feel good about things you're doing, but the difference you're making is so big and it's so profound. You really need to look around and realize that there's very, very few people on the planet that are like you, genuinely. So thank you sincerely for sharing your story. Thank you sincerely for doing what you do, coming on the show and telling us more about that person you were and that person you became. Any chance we can get some cakes, Fadie?
Absolutely. Easy.
Okay, so Fadie, let's just talk a little bit about the size of this operation that you've got. Ramadan, 30 days of the year. The rest of the year, there are still people in need, people struggling. How does the movement struggle?
Well, what people don't understand is that, it's just a 3-man team with the Giving Family. It's me, my partner Sabrina, and my wife. We do everything. And we struggle a lot financially. Like, for instance, we get so many volunteers that want to come and be part of the Giving Family, but not all of them donate. So our struggle is always how we're going to get these meals to feed these people. Even though sometimes we feed 10,000, if you ever come to one of our distributions, there's still thousands waiting for meals. And the reason why we can't feed them is because we don't have funds coming in. So if you go on our Instagram page, we have a link in our bio.
Just what's the Instagram page?
The Giving Family.
Okay.
We have a link there that's connected to Tarahum, which is the government. Excuse me. And you just click on the link and you can donate. The minimum is 10 dirhams, and it's very easy. You just click on it, put the amount that you want to donate, and it goes straight to their account. And they tell us every day how much we have in the account. And that's how we place our orders for meals.
How much do you need each month?
Each bag costs 10 dirhams, it consists of chicken biryani, a nice portion of chicken biryani, very hot and very fresh, water, a bottle of water, a box of yogurt, lemon up, a fruit, either orange or a banana, 3 dates, and a bag of chips for 10 dirhams.
So 10 dirhams is like £2 or $2.5.
$2.5.
$2.5.
Yes.
So, and how many meals would you like to distribute a day if you could?
I mean,
Outside of
Ramadan, I mean, if we could do daily or weekly or once a week.
Doesn't matter, whatever the number is.
I mean, we would love to stay consistent, doing it once a week. At least if we could do 2,000-3,000 every Sunday. Sometimes we can't even do it. We have to.
So 3,000, which means 6,000 dirhams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 3,000 is 30,000.
Sorry, 30,000. No, 60,000. 2 dirhams each.
No, it's 10 dirhams.
Sorry, 10 dirhams.
Yeah.
So 30,000 dirhams.
Yeah.
So sorry, I thought you said 2. So 10 dirhams each, 3,000 meals, 30,000 dirhams. If you're getting 30,000 dirhams in, that really helps.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a lot of money.
No.
Okay, and so, well, let's test my audience. At the end of the day, we've been producing this podcast for a long time. We've never asked anybody anything. We ask them just to subscribe if they can. So, you lot, you've heard his story, you've heard what he said, you heard what he does and the impact that he has. Every single one of you could donate something.
Every little bit counts. 10 dirhams.
Let me do the piece to camera. Every single one of you could do something. Whether that's 10 dirhams, whether that's 50 dirhams, whether many of you that watch this are considerably better off. There's people that need to feed, there's people that need to eat, and these guys need to feed them. So this is my first ever ask in 8 years nearly of 400 episodes. We'll put the link here on the show. If you can make a contribution to help these people, and if you can't yourself, and you can go to your boss and say, how can we get involved? How could we, from a CSR point of view, get involved with not only donating some money every month, but get involved in volunteering? You get 2 wins. Number 1, you get to make a difference. And number 2, you get to be involved. So there's my only ever ask. And if you could do that, you help a man that's done something incredible and made the difference for so many people over the last few years. Okay, let's back to this then.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can get more support. Okay, so you've got the people, you need the money. There's loads of cash out there. We're in one of the fastest growing cities in the world. There's more cash swimming around here than ever before. We would do our best to see how we can help make that happen.
Thank you. Means a lot.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Right. Have you enjoyed being on the show today?
I did. I lost track of time. That's how good it was. And it was awesome, man. Thank you.
I'm sorry that we had a few points that were emotional, but I really am very grateful.
If you ever come to the Giving Family, when I do my speeches every single day, I ball out again.
No, mate. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.